You should watch this movie, Shawnee.
But why, Nathy?
Are you asking me why should I watch? You are listening to Why Should I Watch, the podcast about movies and ideas. Hello, Shawnee. How are you today?
Hi, Nathan. How are you going today?
I'm good.
I love it when we
What a great
I love
start.
it when we have banter just before the mic's about to go on.
Yep.
And the audience has no idea what we're just talking
Yep.
about. It's great.
There's an audience?
Well, you know, there's something
No
there.
one cares.
Our parents are there.
Yeah.
You want to have your catch up? All right.
Well, I like to get to know your life a little bit.
Oh,
I don't want it's not all about business. It's friendship as well.
My life. Well, the last thing that everyone, Jim, Jeff, and John heard about our audience,
Yep.
was that we lost a crew member, and that was about it.
Yep.
And you were doing all right.
Yep.
You were studying, I think.
I'm now officially a psychologist. Wow, I can't speak.
That's all right.
Not a speech therapist.
no.
Yeah, no, I'm now qualified, so I can give mental health advice. So
Oh, perfect.
that'll be valuable for this podcast.
That'll be the next segment of this show.
Yeah.
If any
So call up. Yeah, call in
If
with
people
your
want to
problems.
call up
Yeah.
with their problems, Nathan can fix you.
Yeah, definitely.
I
For a fee.
will just judge you, as I am not qualified. I bought a new gaming computer
Yep, that's important.
to
Now go on.
to dwindle away my life,
Yep.
and sink into my
Yeah.
chair.
How many hours a day have you spent on it so far?
Oh, about 2.
Oh yeah, because you've actually been pretty busy.
Yeah, I've been working.
Your career's going well as well. isn't
Yeah,
it?
you know,
the money's coming
working
in
at
at a place.
undisclosed location.
Yeah, good place to work. I've heard.
Yeah, so that's my, and then I'm actually going to the Gold Coast in 2 days.
Ooh.
No, 3 days. Sorry, 3 days going up.
Yeah,
So
that's Queensland
look
for
out,
non-Australians.
look out for the Shaun in Gold Coast vlog.
Have we got your first vlog yet from Comic Con?
No, a bit of a blunder.
Yeah, well, you know, you're just starting out. You got to build the content.
yeah.
But that's true. You're going to have a vlog channel, which we're going to promote as well.
I'm a little
Get
bit
some fans.
disoriented. So when I use a GoPro, I don't know where to shoot it because it doesn't have you can't see the screen.
That's true. Yeah, you have
So,
to just assume that.
Usually, all my shots are too high or they're too
And
low.
you've cut people's heads off.
And I've cut people's heads off.
Yeah, not literally.
Well,
But with that beard, I don't know, that ISIS beard. No, that's too.
That's
That's
getting
too
a trim
deep. That's
tomorrow
too
as
deep.
well.
There was something I did want to say. Oh yeah, so now the podcast is officially rebranded to Why Should I Watch?
Yes.
Where we talk about, you know, the last episode 20. If you want to go back and understand why we're doing this, why we're bothering.
Yeah,
This is a good question.
essentially,
Yeah.
if you want to though.
Yeah, we're not trying to guilt you
It's
into it.
it's taken about 20 episodes now to kind of find our flooring a little bit.
Yeah.
And that our strengths are in arguing.
Yeah, we hate each other.
Discussion and the hate that we have for
We
each
love.
other.
Is it we hate to love or we love to hate each other?
Well, I think a little bit of both at this point, being so early on. You know, in about a year's time, I'm sure the pod will be in a
Good.
completely different
It'll be listenable. Episode 100 will be a good one.
Oh, believe me.
But you know, I was like, I was actually watching some videos of like David Letterman and Craig Ferguson, like the old Late Show hosts when they finished, and they all said like most of their episodes were bad. Like, because like Dave Letterman did like 4,000 episodes of his Late Show.
Oh, you can't get all. You
can't win 'em all.
Always get a good guest on.
We'd already try and justify
when you have like
our shit
Robert De
episodes.
Niro
Yeah.
compared to like I don't know, Jack Black.
Oh, I don't know if that's a bad thing. He's
gonna be-
entertaining.
Well, no, Robert
Like the
De Niro-
winner of the Big Brother or something. The winner of Big Brother.
Well, you have like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Who apparently is very, very boring to talk to.
Oh, you're saying that he's like the bad one.
Yeah, no, I'm
Oh, I thought you
blaming.
said
I'm
he
blaming
was a
this
good
on the
one.
guests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing an episode is either good or bad depending on the interviews and the banter.
Yeah.
So if you have someone who doesn't do anything compared
So you're blaming
to
it on the banter.
comedian, yeah. So shout out to Robert De Niro.
Wow.
If you've got a problem, please contact me, and we'll take this on the potty.
And yeah, so the email, if you want to contact, is still shaunandnathanshow@gmail.com.
Yep.
That's
Robert De Niro's
A&D.
agent will see you
Oh, wow.
in the next pod.
I definitely think he's going to contact. We'll pay him from the profits of this. Anyway, well, that
I don't
took a
think
turn.
we'll have any money after he sues us, but
No, he'll get his $10. Yeah, look, this is our show, and if you don't like it, keep listening.
That's it. Like,
No, we're getting.
don't be like one of those people
guilty.
that are like, oh, if you don't like it, then piss off.
No, I want you to keep.
give it a try. Give it
No,
a go.
I want if you
Give it a
don't
fair
like
go.
it, I want you to keep listening.
Look, I am in serious debt. and
wow.
I need money. Okay, I just bought a computer. I've got my hex debts from Daniel Andrews. All right, just keep listening, and we'll see where we might surprise you.
So we're doing It today, aren't we?
Yeah, enough about my outstanding debt.
This movie snuck up on us because, like, it sort of just came. It was like,
well, it snuck up on you.
well, I didn't know. Yeah, well, I didn't know. I wasn't following the prehistory of this movie. I thought it was like from 1986. It was a Stephen King novel. Mm-hmm. It was already a movie with Tim Curry as Pennywise the clown. Now it's here again. Why is it here again?
Well, it hasn't really snuck up. I mean, I think clowns have taken a bit of a big break from horror.
Yeah.
There was this one clown film I think it came out last year about a man who either puts on a clown suit or is a clown for like parties, and he starts turning into like a monstrous clown. I think it's just called Clown. It's actually on Netflix. We can watch it.
I'm good.
But I think clowns have kind of stayed out of the limelight a little bit. I think with the whole, well, as you know, the clown sighting prank thing that was happening around the world. Well, not really murderous, but they just appear and kind of spook people and run after them.
Didn't one kill someone or something?
But there's plenty of footage of people retaliating and beating up these clowns. It's great. Unfortunately, we're not talking about that today. Secondly, there's also a lot of controversy with actual clowns losing business over all these like horror clown-related movies, and
so because clowns are scaring people don't want to hire them for parties.
Yeah, because they think, oh well, what happens if that clown was on the street last night scaring people?
Oh, okay, so they think the clown's going to murder them, or it's just like the association.
But like it's just the association. Like
it's,
clowns are creepy. Okay,
so how does this lead to the film It coming out?
I think it was time for a nice revival.
Okay.
If you haven't
the
seen
Clownaissance.
I've seen the 1990 TV series. It's 2 parts.
Yes.
With Tim Curry.
Yes.
I enjoy it. It hasn't aged well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I think it's great. And this is something that I read online.
So it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. But, well, you heard it in the film itself. So the creature attacks every 17 years.
Yes.
So if you go from 1990, 17 years later is 2017.
Can you just listen to what you just said? 1990, 17 years later. That would be 2007.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, well then... Wait, what?
Wow, that was... I could have let you keep going.
Hang
Do you mean 27 years or...
Yeah, it's got to be 27 years.
Okay, every 27 years. Because 1990 was 27 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's every 27 years.
Okay.
That's right. Jesus. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, you heard it here first, people. Sean McMahon and his maths. That just derailed the whole thing.
From 2000s to 2010, my life is a blur.
Okay.
It's just all high school. So I think that's they might have had this in the back burner.
Yeah.
For a couple of years, like a decade, but they thought, all right, well, to line it up with the actual Pennywise,
like the mythology,
the mythology, release it on 2017.
Okay.
Make an extra milli on top.
My question to that though is the film was set in the 80s, so how does that make sense?
The original one was set in the 50s, and then in the 70s or maybe even probably the 70s or early 80s, they come back as adults and they fight it again.
Oh, in the same miniseries.
Yeah, so it's kind of like how this movie is going to be. So part 1 is the kids experiencing it for the first time. Second series is they're adults now, but they're still affected by the clown.
Yeah, and is that because the book is separated into the 2 parts of like the kids and the adults?
Yeah. So the parents, the adults come back, and they go and fight him again. I won't spoil it, but
okay.
It's actually really interesting to see how much it still plagues their lives, because they're adults and they still see the clown, and the clown still recognizes them from the events 27 years ago.
Is this turning into like a future review of the second part 2?
Well,
we're talking about the miniseries.
We can do that. Well, we're just kind of ramping up what it is, because
see what you did there.
Because that's going to happen a lot this podcast. You haven't seen the original series with Tim Curry.
How do you know that? It's true, but how do you know that? Do you watch me every second?
I know you.
Look, I have a lot. I see a lot of things, but I also don't see a lot of other things.
Well, look, I don't think many people might have seen
It was a skip. Well, I always thought it was a movie. Was it, or am I wrong in that it was a miniseries?
It was a miniseries, okay. but you could. Each episode is an hour and a half, so it's a 3-hour.
Okay, so it's like basically spectacle. 2 movies,
yeah, essentially. And now we find ourselves with a new 27 years later.
Yes.
Nathan.
Yeah.
Begin.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. We'll do the numbers first.
Yeah,
we'll run it down.
Do the numbers. Go for it.
Well, because it makes sense. So, like, the budget was 35 mil. Box office 274.3. So that's almost 8 times its budget already, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, as you were saying, like, there's the demand for it. So, I mean, to make any movie to make 274, like basically 275 million, that's, especially on such a small budget, and especially for a horror movie as well, is pretty insane, wouldn't you say? Because because this has only been out for a couple of weeks as well, so it's definitely going to go up from there. That's just at the time of this recording. It might even make 500 mil if it keeps going the way it is.
It's come completely out of right field.
Left field?
Well, you know. There's no
if left field means it comes out of nowhere, wouldn't right field be like it's right where it was expected?
Well, maybe. Well,
but it has been a surprise.
With the 27 years, but it's going off because for the last couple of years now we've had just Paranormal Activity and we've just had Annabelle as the main kind of horror duo.
Yeah.
Like that every year we know that one of them's going to come out. Like The Conjuring or Annabelle or etc. And then we've got The Saw coming out again. We've got Jeepers Creepers coming out again.
Yeah.
So it is surprising that it's doing so well, seeing that it could have... I reckon it could have flopped because it's that fine line between, are people going to watch it just to get a quick scare? Or are people going to avoid it because they know that, okay, the last few horror films have been below average, you know... Am I just going to pass on it because it is that bad? Or am I going to see it as
they've
up there with Annabelle 2 again? Like
you're mentioning like a lot of the hits, but there's so many horror movies that come out that are flops.
The hits? Annabelle 2 creation sucked.
Yeah, but it still made money.
I know.
But like there's what you're saying is like you're just listing the ones that have made, like, that people know about because they made so much money. But there's so many. Do you remember there's a clown movie that came out, I think it was like 2008, and it was called Amusement. Did you ever see that? It's considered one of like, the worst horror movies of all time.
I've seen the DVD. I've seen the DVD cover.
Yeah, and like because they reveal the clown like in the first 10 minutes, and there's like no suspense. He just comes out and like attacks.
Well, isn't that like it? In the first 5 minutes, they reveal him, and
but like they only reveal him in like as a little teaser, and that sort of gets a plot going with the kid disappearing, his brother. You know, and that seems like freaky. So, look, I don't know. I enjoyed like overall. We'll now talk about our opinions of it. Now we've given like a backstory as to why it's been made.
Go for it.
I enjoyed it because, you know, like I've noticed one of the main complaints we have about like the films, you know, especially I'm thinking like King Kong, maybe sort of Rogue One, but when maybe Godzilla as well, like the cast being a little bit boring and like forgettable.
Yeah.
But I reckon the cast of kids were excellent, and that was like where we were most of the time. Is like the pretty much the plot of the middle of the film, because that's where I get lost. Films lose me at the middle often. Like they start out really well and usually they have like a really good ending, but it's that middle.
Yeah. Good
filmmakers can keep the film interesting all the way through, and in the middle we were seeing each kid like experience the clown in their own way.
Yeah, well, that's sort of...
And each cast member, it was interesting. Like I saw like Finn Wolfhard, who was a kid from Stranger Things. He basically carried the film. Oh, here we go. Here's the eye roll. First disagreement.
Just to stop you there.
All right.
Rogue One's cast sucked. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, we're going back to Rogue. That was episode
Just
2.
saying that Rogue One, though, you've just flared me a little bit. That Rogue One cast was shocking.
Yeah, okay.
It's a great comparison, it and Rogue One.
Yeah.
Of how to film a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
So we actually have sympathy for them and a bit of backstory, whereas Rogue One, no one cared about them.
Yeah.
They died, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, I cared about them, but that's different.
Really?
I liked Rogue One, remember? Go listen to the episode.
Oh, wow.
Episode 2 of Why should I watch?
Out now on DVD.
Formerly the Shaun and Nathan show. On DVD. It's just a black screen without audio. Okay, but did you not like the cast in this film?
No. I enjoyed the cast. I didn't see any gripes with them. I think they all acted well. They all, even some of the minor characters, like the father, the gang of bullies.
Which father? The one of the daughter of Bev.
I've got his name here, Henry Bowers. So his father was the policeman.
Yeah.
The kid with the goat gun. You know, at the very start of the film.
Oh yeah, the black kid. I didn't get his name.
Well, I was trying to avoid going to colour, but thanks. The black kid's father as well.
He was black.
There wasn't really much of a... Because I was looking up on the IMDb, it's hard to kind of... Because it's just the kids. Like, there's not many adult characters in the movie.
No, and that's what I wanted to talk about with... Look, okay, so what are you looking at?
Oh, Beverly's father is, I guess, kind of paid a biggest role.
Because one of my questions, so this is overall I enjoyed the film, and I would recommend it. I think you should watch it. Do you reckon people should watch it? Or would you say it's forgettable? Because you came out of it and said you didn't like it. When I was like, oh, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie.
I think give it a go. I don't think it'll be forgettable for now.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's a part 2 coming in.
Well, my main question was, so I reckon, especially, we'll give credit as well, Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise the clown. He was great. But see, this is where your problem was. This is what I want to get into, is Pennywise as a villain. I understand it. Was his motivation that he was preying on the kids' fear? Was that what he was feeding on? Because he was trying to eat the children, wasn't he? And because at the end, spoilers obviously, where they're floating around inside the house or down in the drain or wherever they are.
Yeah.
Is that what it was supposed to be? His motivation was feeding off the fear of kids, kind of like Monsters, Inc.?
Yeah, so... Well, that's exactly how he sort of... either scares them or, I guess, takes them down, is that... Yeah, he uses their fear...
Yeah.
And thrives off it, and that's how he can get to them easy.
Yeah.
But... One thing that was bugging me is that he would have them so easily, in a basement or in a room.
Yeah.
And he wasn't killing these kids.
No, and
I know the kids aren't going to die.
I didn't get either.
But it was really kind of frustrating, especially there's a scene where they're in the house.
Yeah.
And he has one of the kids on the ground and he's about to get him. And it's just come on. And then the kids are outside trying to choose the correct door.
Yeah.
And it goes on
no
for 30
fear,
seconds.
Yeah.
And it's I know the kids aren't going to die. I get it, but...
Yeah, they're because they're the protagonists, they're protected. We know how, especially you've seen the miniseries,
but
you know
being older, that just annoys me.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So it did... Why I liked it as a movie is because it followed, it had the formula of a film and, it followed it pretty well. Because, some films have dragged on, the ones that we didn't like in the past. King Kong sort of... It showed stuff too soon. The trailer sort of gave too much away.
Ugh.
But I was thinking, at the start of the movie, when the little kid... I can't remember the young kid's name, but when he goes and he drops his, boat down into the drain... Georgie drops his boat down in the drain. Mm-hmm. I know that his brother's Will. But when the clown's under the drain, it's that iconic scene with the red balloon.
Well, that's...
The kid wasn't afraid. He was, smiling and laughing at the clown.
One of the main points that I had is that Pennywise, and one of our friends also... We'll have him on the pod eventually. Is that after the first scene of that drain scene, Pennywise really changes character a lot.
Yes.
I thought he was a lot more effective being more calm, more, I'm going to say seductive or hypnotic to the kids. Talking slowly and just kind of building that trust a little bit.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the film, he's just sitting there doing weird, creepy stuff, or he's just outright scary, he's running at them, or he comes out a projector like a giant monster.
Yeah,
that wasn't
that
scary.
Scene was weird,
that wasn't scary to me. The scariness is I think at this age as well, and after all the horror movies I've seen,
and the stuff we talked about,
is that him acting like a real human would act is more frightening.
Yeah, that he would seem like he did in the opening scene where he seemed like sort of a person.
Yeah.
That's a clown, not just a monster.
Not even a monster. It could have just been a complete psychopath stranger.
Yeah.
And then very quickly it escalates to him becoming this proper monster, and it just breaks. It's not like I just wanted more talking scenes with him instead of just appearing and then
what's his
going all crazy. And
is it going to be revealed in episode 2, like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, where we find out Peter Quill's backstory? Is it going to be revealed where Pennywise comes from, or is it kind of a film where it doesn't really matter, that he's just there and he's there to terrorize the town? Because it's that kind of generic, like, monster thing where he's just basically terrorizing the town. And that's one thing that kind of annoys me about, like, it's kind of that, like, like that writer's arrogance where it's like, oh, I'm going to write... Because this was set in Maine. I think they changed the location to Oregon for the film, but all of Stephen King's stuff is set in Maine, where he's from, the state of Maine. And it's like, you know, you have the generic monster that terrorizes the small town. It's like he couldn't go anywhere else in the world. He has to go to this one small town and attack this one group of kids.
Yeah.
Is that part of it? Like, is there something about that, about where Pennywise is from, why he's doing what he's... I know it's like he's feeding on fear, but, like, is there anything behind that?
The Fat Kid touches on it a little bit when he's talking about the big disaster that happens.
Yeah.
Remember something burnt down?
Yeah.
And he appeared back then.
Yes.
So it does touch on perhaps where the clown has come from, or where the creature has come from.
Yeah.
Because
in the library.
Yeah, in the library. He's looking at it.
Yes, I do remember that. But like, what I think, like, what I got the sense was, like, yeah, with the sequel, it's going to be, like, expanded on a bit more.
From memory, just from the TV series, it's more just about the adults trying to fight it. They might touch on it a little bit. In the book, I know that it expands more into sort of the where and why. There's like a space turtle.
Oh, okay. So it is weird. Something really weird. Well, he did write it on cocaine, so... Well,
there you go. I mean, space turtles...
Yeah. Okay, so it's something dumb like that. I thought so, yeah.
Good news is there is talk that they are going to try and incorporate the space turtle.
What the hell is a space turtle?
I don't know. I'm thinking he came from the space turtle or something. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
What I want to know as well, like, at the end, so Bill, who's like the main kid of the group, and his brother, they went into the house to find, what's his name, Georgie, the little brother. They wanted to find the little brother. That's why they kept... Because one thing I thought was, like, why do they keep going? Just run away from it or stay at home, you know? It didn't seem to, like, pursue them in their house. Although it did kind of go into Bev's house, didn't it, with the blood coming up through the sink and stuff.
Yeah, well, you're meant to think that it can kind of get you anywhere.
Yeah, it can get you anywhere. But what I wanted to know is, like, why did he kill his brother at the end? You know, when the brother walks out? There was, like, no indication that the kid was it, like Pennywise. Why did he know to kill him? You know, right at the end? Because, you know, the first scene, they go into the house with all the stuff, and they realise that the stick did a bit of damage to him. So they all grab sticks, weapons, and go back in.
Yeah.
And then when they have the final confrontation, and his brother's there, and he kills his brother. And he's like, sorry, I have to... he's not my brother. How did he know?
He knew at that point that there's no way that Georgie could have still been alive.
Yeah.
He's done the trick before in the basement. You know, Georgie was there, and it's yeah, I think it was its final attempt to try and trick him. But
okay,
and the point is that he accepts that Georgie is dead, and you know, it would have been hard to shoot his own brother. I was a little bit of me was expecting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It to be the real brother.
Yeah.
Like to actually.
Well, that's what I thought
dead.
was going to happen. Yeah, I thought the kid was alive.
Shit,
and then he
that would have been like such a big twist.
It tricked him into killing his brother. That's what I thought it was going to be.
That would have been.
It was actually him.
A lot more effective. Just saying. Would have been fucked up, but.
Wow.
A lot more insane.
Yeah. I want to talk about. There's a few little things that like movies keep, like, you know how we point out like patterns, things that movies do that like get annoying. There's a few of them in this movie, but I want to quickly get onto your main problem with the film, which I think I kind of had too now that I think about it, was Pennywise is like, he's got like real interesting potential as like a villain, like to be a classic movie villain, but they kind of like watered him down a bit. Like every time he like jump scared, there was always that like banging sound.
Yeah, it became kind of cliche movie.
Yeah, like they just couldn't make him original. They had to like rely on stuff that people,
jump scares know. Or you know, just.
Do you think that's what let you down with the film? That it delved into just becoming a bit more of a generic horror film? It started
to feel a little bit like Annabelle, a little bit like Conjuring.
Yeah.
where it wasn't exactly creepy or, you know, he didn't feel human. It just, again, like when he came out of the projector, I was like, I'm done. That was the dumbest
But
scene.
what was the thing like with the Jewish kid doing when he was doing his reading the Torah and his confirmation, and the thing came out of the painting, and it was a different. Was that still Pennywise, but he had a different form? Or was that another monster?
No,
that part confused me.
I think it was all Pennywise.
So he can shapeshift as well.
But well, remember he's turning into. He can turn into
your fears,
or he can either turn into your fears, or he can make your fears or memories exist.
So it's like the Dementors in Harry Potter.
Like when the black kids goes up to the door and it's on fire, and there's all the hands coming out.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he prey. That part confused me. So he does prey on the kids.
That part. I'm just gonna say now.
Yeah.
One of the parts that pissed me off is that painting really creeped me out. There was something weird about it. I was like, oh no, please,
it's a weird face.
Please don't come out. And then he looks up. When he looks up and it's gone, I'm like, oh, like this is gonna be freaky. Two things annoyed me. One, that it just appears behind him. I would have thought it was more scary if the painting was just like missing.
Yeah.
But then it's just gone for a while, and then it comes back after a while because he's like, okay, where is this creature gone?
Yeah,
but
I get you.
It's like in The Conjuring 2.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
2, I know it's hard to do, but they used like CGI, and it does this stupid smile.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
be scary.
That smile. Yeah.
It's like, and it's like he's got like silvery weird teeth, and it just killed the vibe so much.
Yeah. Because it just made it a bit more generic,
It looked like a Disney film.
Yeah.
Look back on any villain from the Disney film, and they always go up to the camera and go, and they smile.
They have to do that.
It's like Bruce from bloody Finding Nemo. You know, he comes up to the camera and he smiles. They always do that.
I think they did. That's part of the problem is they made it a bit like they couldn't make it original. Yeah.
They couldn't think of interesting shots.
Okay.
They had to resort to just like. Audiences going, oh,
I know they wanted to scare.
It. Oh, it's smiling at me.
I want to get through a couple of things that like movies keep doing that have annoyed me. There's this main one that really annoyed me was when Bev. So part of the girl who all the guys like in the group, part of her story is that she's got an abusive father.
Yeah.
And that the townspeople think she's like a slut and sleeps around, but she's actually really like just an innocent girl who's got this reputation that's been made up. But there's that scene where the father jumps on her and holds her down. And she like kicks him in the balls, and like he falls off, and like it's just so opportunistic. Like it's like the situation of where her leg is, and like if you were really holding someone down, you'd make sure to like hold their legs so they don't kick you in the balls, wouldn't you? Like it's what I mean is like there's this trope where there's a character that's getting overpowered, and the person on top of them's clearly stronger, but they get away. They kick them in the balls and get away. I wish I had more examples, but it happens in so many films.
It's always a bull shot. But I think if...
Yeah, or it's like there's a rock nearby and they whack him. There was actually one, it was 8mm with Nick Cage, and he's like held down by these gangs, and he just happens to grab the gun and shoot the guy. It always happens. They're like being held down and something's just out of reach. Or they've just got the angle and they kick him right in the nuts.
Always a nut shot. But I think if...
It's not always a nut. Sometimes they hit him with a rock or something.
I was going to give a really weird example.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, what is it?
I was about to blurt out, like, if I was holding down an 8-year-old girl.
but hypothetically,
holding
you're
down,
stronger than they shouldn't be able to
a kid,
overpower you.
Let's just call it play wrestling.
Yeah.
And he kneed me in the balls. I don't think it would hurt as much.
Yeah.
It would just be more frustrating.
Yeah.
But for movie's sake,
Yeah. I know.
Whatever.
The other one was, if you're fat, you don't get the girl.
Oh, well... Yeah.
Because that was set up, the fat kid, like at the start, they had that New Kids on the Block reference, and they bonded, and they always had these moments. Yet Bill ended up with the girl, with Bev. Why? I know it was supposed to end in an orgy scene, and they cut out the orgy scene right at the end, where all the kids are sitting around in a circle.
It's just life, alright? I'm sorry, but, the fat kid had bigger boobs than the girl.
Yeah.
When you're up to that stage, your chances are a bit low. I do agree with you. No, don't do that. We're making it a 45.
Yeah.
I've still got more to talk about. Give me the controller. I think it just didn't line up correctly of how normal romance should go, because the kid wrote the crush. She mucked it up with the guy and figured it out that he didn't write the poem.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But
yeah, like that kid wrote the poem for her.
The kid kisses the girl out of the spell and gets nothing.
Yeah, he broke her out of the spell, and then the other kid gets a girl.
If I was the fat kid and I knew what was going to happen that morning after, I'd be like, no, fuck you. Let you float up into the space.
Yeah, and the last one was when they do the blood pact at the end instead of the orgy as it was written in the book. The kid, there was the other kid was so afraid of like trading saliva or blood that he was like, oh, AIDS is going around. AIDS is an epidemic. He makes this big deal. That was the point. And then he does the pact.
They've all changed except for the Jew, but they've all changed. So the Jew. So
wow.
Nathan cut me off there. I protested for the fans, and I've got just a couple more gripes that I had with the film.
Yes.
CGI dance scene with the clown. Wasn't a fan of it. It was quite obvious that what's his name? Bill
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
He's the son of Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's renowned actor. He was William Turner's father in the Pirates of the Caribbean saga. And his brother is also what's his name? He's from Vampire Diaries, I think.
Yeah, he's the other Skarsgård.
Other Skarsgård.
Pennywise Skarsgård.
Pennywise Skarsgård.
Yeah, no, I know
he couldn't. They couldn't get him to do the dance scene where he's flinging his legs left and right.
Yeah.
So they obviously got someone to do the dance and slapped his head on it.
Yeah. A lot of CGI.
Look, this is producer Shaun coming out here.
Of course, all the classics you've made.
Don't do it because it's less effective when it looks like shit. To him actually being able to do it, or like it might look good in your head, going, oh, he'll do a jig, it'll be funny,
and then you've.
But when it looks terrible, don't bother.
So you'd say cut it rather than make it look crap.
Either he can do it or he cannot. That's it.
I agree with that.
Or have someone dress up as Pennywise and do the jig. Don't slap his dumb head on someone else's body.
Yeah, sure.
Just saying, when that happened, I laughed. I kind of cuffed to myself, but I did an eye roll.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think Richie Tozer. Look, his one-liners and jokes were funny for the first 15 minutes when they're talking about sex and your mum jokes and all that. I think towards the end, I think his attitude should have changed a little bit more.
Yep.
And become a little bit more mature. After seeing the clown and going to the clown room and all that, he didn't really seem scared. He just kind of went, oh yeah, these clowns, and a couple more wacky one-liners. Yeah, I didn't really see the character arc for Richie. Even when they're in the sewer and they've seen the clown, he's making sexual jokes.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it got a bit much. Yeah,
it's like, don't. You're cutting the tension with it. You're cutting the tension down.
But do you think
no kid would say that? Like,
yeah, I agree with that because I think part of his character, he was obviously the comic relief, and he was cast. The actor himself, Finn was coasting off his Stranger Things success.
They've got to give him all the funny roles. Yeah.
But I think he probably should have had a moment where he got serious about it. He was still quipping with when Pennywise was attacking, and it clearly wasn't a joke, and the dead brother, and he's still making jokes.
When I see these kids not scared, I'm not scared. When I walk into a room with clowns and some of them are moving, that's fucking freaky.
Yeah.
But if this kid's just walking in and making jokes and there's a coffin, opens it up, there's me. It doesn't work, and it's not effective at all.
Yeah.
You don't even care. So Richie, for me, look, he's probably everyone else's favourite.
So he took you out of the film.
He grabbed me and threw me out.
He threw
back
you
into 1990. Last little point here that I would want to make.
17 years ago.
That I 27 actually. No child orgy scene was in the film, which was good.
So it's good that it wasn't. You didn't want to see that.
I did not want to see a child orgy. Don't touch the
No,
remote.
I wasn't touching it.
I think the most effective scene for me, it's a smaller scene, and I don't think many people have really spoken about it, but it was when Henry Bowers killed his father with the switchblade.
Oh yes,
to his neck.
So Henry Bowers the bully,
Yeah.
I forgot about that whole
We
character.
didn't really. Well, I've been. He's actually the character I've been thinking about the most because he.
Do you relate to him?
Well, no. Terry's a really good father. I mean, and I don't have a mullet.
Yeah, he's about to go on our Dunkirk episode.
He's actually. I thought he was probably the best actor in the film. He had a lot of rage, a lot of sadness. He really felt sorry for him. He looked like he was straight out of the 80s.
Yeah, he did
Like
look.
he looked exactly like from Stand By Me.
Yeah.
For some reason, his face.
Yeah, he had that vibe. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And just killing the father. It was just so.
Yeah.
It felt so real. I think because it was just so
real?
much blood.
Yeah.
And you can see his father.
Yeah.
Trying to
he was
stay alive. And just dead, and that scene really stuck out.
Yeah,
because
and
he was so real.
He was a really sadistic bully as well. Like he was gonna like kill some of the kids at some point like, with rocks.
He was gonna shoot a cat. He gets the cat. The bully puts the cat on. He has the pistol,
and that's when his father stops him. Yeah.
Yeah, that just felt so real and powerful, and when he's cutting the fat kid's chest or the cat.
Yeah, that's right. He carved the H into his chest. For Henry,
yeah, that's right.
And then the kid,
again, like every scene with him was really effective.
Yeah, because actually that scene was pretty good because the friends around him were like, "What, dude? That's like too far. Like you cutting into him," but they still went along with it. That showed the power that he had.
Happens in Stand By Me, I believe. One of the bullies starts cutting the kid.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh,
so it's a reference, yeah."
Well, it might have been a reference.
Well, like it would.
I feel like this is a throwback to a lot of classic.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's like this film did rely on nostalgia.
Stand by Me is always a big one. E.T.
Yeah. Stand by Me is a classic.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes,
is a big one.
Yes.
Another scene that really scared me.
Yeah.
Final mention here, Nathan. Final mention was the scene where the one of the bullies with the can of spray paint.
Yeah.
I think it was. And he's in the sewer and he's got the flame.
Oh yeah.
He sees the outline of the kids, and they're like, "Oh, you found us! And then he lights the like the mini little flamethrower.
Yes.
And all their faces are kind of disfigured.
Yeah.
He's in the sewer. I thought that was terrifying.
Oh yeah.
He's in the dark and he's looking, and he's like, you can see the outline of the kids just standing there. It's like, "Oh, you found us."
Yeah.
And he's like,
That's
"Oh,
crazy.
you little punks!" And he sprays the fire, and they're all like zombies and all that. They all look terrible.
Yeah,
and he's running through and he gets to the
great
page.
Yeah, that's the part that
and
that
I was
freaks
like,
me.
oh, it's really like that tension there had nothing to do with the clown yet.
No, it was just that kind of
probably didn't even need to show him.
Remember, that's what we in the childhood horror episode that we talked about. I think it's good that we did that before discussing this, because like, you know how we worked out it's kind of like the real horror is in that like tension before actually seeing the villain. It's that kind of knowing that something could come into your house and kill you.
Yeah.
I think that was where they kind of missed out towards the end, where the kids are actively going into the house. It would have been better if they had to like be more defensive than like offensive. You know what I mean? Like it was like they're going in 100%. With sticks and stuff to attack the clown. It's like so stupid. It's like, why would you?
Yeah.
I know, like I get that they were trying to get the brother and they were trying to get to the bottom of the mystery.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, well, you know how like you say like you want that ragtag gang of misfits doing the heist film? It was kind of like that, where it's like the group of kids are going in ready, prepared to kill the boss.
These kids...
But they had no idea what they were going to do. They just got lucky.
These kids should have been in Rogue One and gone to the Death Star plans and taken the Rogue One cast and put them in it. Completely better.
Yeah, Felicity Jones. Felicity Jones as Bev.
There you go.
I would have seen that orgy scene.
With Forrest Whitaker.
Appropriate. Yeah.
And the engineer.
Yeah.
But no, that's all I've got to say.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have any more?
It is the fear though of those, because every time those are the parts that scared me, is that the unknowingness of it.
Yes.
So creature coming out of the painting, just the silhouettes of the kids in the sewer.
Yeah.
The few clowns moving in the clown room.
Yeah.
That was the most effective stuff to me.
Yeah, and they should have kept going with that.
The unknowingness, and it's this disturbing.
Yeah.
Feeling of it. It's not direct. It's not a clown coming out of a projector and
going,
like going crazy. It's just more the subtle.
I gotcha. I agree. I do agree with you. All right, let's finish up with our usual little just giving our star rating.
Predictions and
So it got 85% on Rotten Tomatoes so far, which is not bad. That's 4.25 stars if you want to get technical. So I wrote down. I say I'd give it 3.5 stars. So I'd like it. I like it with 3.5 stars. That's
yeah. No, I for once in my life,
that's like 70%.
I'm going to agree with you.
Oh wow!
That I think it deserves 3.5.
No, we've
just
given
a little bit
movies the
better
same
than average, but not 4-star.
Oh, okay, so when you say that's so when you said like you didn't like it, you didn't mean that you thought it was a bad movie, but like it let you down from your expectations.
Yeah,
it didn't reach the heights you hoped.
Yeah, it's like Jurassic World, but the clown.
But Jurassic World was like Jurassic Park's such a part of your childhood. It's not so big.
It was so black and white. There'd be scenes of brilliance and disturbing and slow paced, but then there was like really cheap. Again, I go back to the bloody projector scene where he just comes out. It just felt so easy and so random that it was nonsensical.
And that's what let you down. Just that it could have been like a bit more subtle. Like, because Stephen King's like one of the best horror writers, but the film was a bit... They've still injected it with a bit of the generic horror film tropes.
It felt very Hollywood. Yeah, exactly. It felt very Hollywood. So, it didn't feel like a book. And I didn't think they needed to make it pop out and scary. I mean, they're doing 2 parts. Why not?
Yeah, leave all that stuff for the second one.
You can filter it out and just build it up with disturbing.
Yeah.
And the Jew didn't really have an arc.
Why Should I Watch is a Skinny White Boy production. For more information, visit www.skinnywhiteboy.com.